Hello guys, I welcome you back to another episode here on Mozambique Confessions. On this platform, I get to share with you all the confessions that I receive on WhatsApp and also on Facebook. So this confession that I am going to share with you was translated from isiZulu. The story reads like this. Dear Mozambique Confessions, please hide my identity. I am a young man who is in his late 30s. I come from Nompondo in KwaZulu-Natal. I have always wanted to own taxis, and you know that it's not easy to join a taxi association in South Africa. It's a high-risk industry that is filled with violence and bloodshed. So for you to get in such a business, you need to be a man with a strong and a fearless heart. My father owned taxis, but he was killed with 14 bullets in his head one morning around 2004 as he was driving out of the gate. He was fighting for a route, and he was a man who will get things done. So the only way to silence him was to get him killed. I was a young man, and all his belongings were taken by his brothers, such that we had to grow up very poor. In school, I did not perform very well, and the only business that I knew that would be lucrative for me was this one, and I felt like I had to do it for my father's sake, but I didn't have the capital. To join this business, you need to get a 14-seater. Then for you to get on a route, you need between 50 and 80,000 rands. I mean, for you to just get one quantum on that route, you have to pay 50 or 80,000 rand. But I didn't have the money at all. So one day I met a family friend who was my father's friend, and we were just discussing about life. And he told me that he always get his muti from Maputo, muti to make him stronger and be feared in the industry. I got interested in this discussion, and he told me that I was just a small boy. I then persuaded him, and he told me that if I would like to get in the business, there was a man who would come from Maputo. From where we stay to Maputo, it's about 284 kilometers. So there is a lot of interaction between our people and the people from Maputo. People I know even steal cars from the towns nearby and sell them in Maputo. So I was not shocked by this discussion. We later agreed that he was gonna take me there. I never told my wife or anyone because I am a real Zulu man, fearless, but I loved umakoti wami and our kids. The day came and we left for Maputo. We got there, then within a few hours we went deep into the villages to see these men who had solutions to my problems. Upon arrival, as we stepped on the yard, we were greeted by the messenger who immediately welcomed me with my name. Who had told him my name? I asked myself, but I was like, this is so interesting. We were told to remove our shoes, and we followed him into this dark room. As I walked into the room, I felt fear all over me. Even though I am a man, at this point I was very uncomfortable. In the middle of the room, there was a snake in a container, and it was a very huge snake. There was an animal skin all over the room, and a snake skin too hanging on the roof. There was an old madala sitting by the corner, and we knelt down and clapped our hands as a way of showing respect. My father's friend spoke to him in Portuguese, and he told him that I needed help to start a taxi business. I was told to list 10 people that I loved deeply according to their importance. I wrote my list, and on number 1 was my wife, followed by our son and other family members, my sisters and my brothers and Womalume. I didn't know that this was a trick, and my father's friend never explained what it really meant. Next, I was given a mirror, and all those people that I loved appeared, and I was given a needle. With that needle, I was supposed to prick on my wife's heart. So I took that needle and I pricked on her heart in that mirror. If only I knew what I was doing. After that, I was washed with some lion medicine, such that people, when they look at me, they would fear me. But the problem with this medicine is that every time when I go or come close to a cow, that cow can even try to kill me, because when it looks at me, it will be seeing a lion. That is how the medicine works. We left the place. It was deep in the villages and there was no signal. As soon as I was back by the border gate, I saw that my phone had a lot of missed calls. It was from my family members. They were trying to call me, but the amount of missed calls worried me. I called back and I was told that my wife had died. She just said she had a pain on her heart. She fell while holding on top of her breast, but she never had any heart problem before. And to my surprise, the person that I was with, my father's friend, was never shocked. He just said, "You have to be strong." Now that I know what had happened, I had sacrificed my wife. The moment I took the needle on the mirror, that was the same time that she had died. I was so heartbroken. I got home and I looked at our children. They were so heartbroken. They were crying. I told myself, what have I done? Who is going to take care of these children? I had never felt like a stupid man all of my entire life. We buried my wife. And then I just woke up in the middle of the house. There was money everywhere. I'm at 200 rand and there was still new money as if they had just come from the bank. Ever since I was born, I had never seen so much money. I had been told that you will get enough money to buy a taxi and join the taxi association. I bought the taxi and I bought it cash and managed to get myself into the association. I am highly respected and feared because of that lion bath that I took. My life has changed. I managed to build a double-story house and money doubles each and every time. I don't sleep at night. I see my wife every evening. She comes and stands crying, holding her heart and saying, "But why? My family is finished." A year later, my son died in a strange way because he was number 2 on the list that I wrote back in Maputo. Every year, same time of the year, a family member dies. It has been 5 years and I have lost 5 people whom I love. So I asked those guys in Maputo. Then they told me that on the 10th year, I will die. I have everything that I need, but I'm not happy. I am really hurt that every time that I drive my sports car, people admire me. This is what I have to say to people. People never admire the things that you don't know. I have 5 years to go, then I will die. The thing that is happening to me right now is I am always drunk so that I don't see the ghost of my wife. Now the problem is I have been scammed a lot of money by these guys who claim that they know how to remove these things that I was given back in Maputo. I've been scammed by pastors. I've been scammed by even traditional healers. There are even guys who can come at my house and claim that they've removed everything, but as soon as they go, I just see the ghost of my wife. Please, when you post, notify me so that I can follow the comments in the comment section, because I am really looking for help. That was a confession from our dear brother. He went to Maputo to look for some medicine so that his business can grow. If there is anyone who is willing to help this brother of ours, please inbox me, but we don't want any scammers. If you come to my inbox and you try to scam this guy, I am going to expose you. Let's meet again in the following episode.